think it's recording.
Crooked.
In what direction?
Still a little crooked. Yeah, there you go. Fine. Perfect.
Okay. What's today's date?
February
6th,
2022.
2022.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do an over-under type thing.
Over under.
What do you think? Or we're gonna just see who ends up being the closest. What do you think our departure date's gonna be? Like when we get on the plane to go to Europe.
I have a date. Do you have one?
Yeah.
May 18th.
I was gonna say May 12th.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll see.
Very close. I like that.
We can readdress that later. What excites you about Denmark?
It's in Europe.
Schnaggles.
Oh, the Danishes.
The Danishes.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Danishes.
The bike paths.
Yeah, I'm excited about seeing some like nice infrastructure.
Universal healthcare.
I don't know if I'm as excited as you.
Get tested for if I'm allergic to dogs.
Ooh, yeah. Let's put that on the bucket list.
Yeah. That actually leads me into what's on our bucket list.
For Copenhagen? Or for you've been making the Europe bucket list.
Yeah,
You tell
maybe
me.
I should answer this.
Yeah.
I'm blanking. And of course my bucket list is on the phone.
Oh.
We want to
Isle of Skye.
Yeah, I want to finally go to Isle of Skye because I've been to Scotland twice. Both times wanted to see it, didn't see it. We want to do a bike trip of some sort. Maybe go cross-country skiing in some dope locations like Norway or the Alps.
I think you put Istanbul on there.
Yeah, we should go to Istanbul. Make some like Danish friends and have them over for Thanksgiving. Yeah, we'll keep adding to it.
I want to join a Danish club.
Yeah, that kind of goes
It's on
on
my
the
bucket
list
list.
of exciting things about Denmark
Yeah.
and the bucket list. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard's the job search been?
I guess I'd say in terms of finding jobs, pretty easy, like 2 or something.
Yeah, I've been impressed given that you limited it to environmental sector stuff. I've been surprised at how many options you've found.
Well, that's sort of part of the Danish advantage is that they're super into sustainability and a lot of funding is going in that direction. So a lot of opportunities there. But yeah, also just recruiters hit me up a ton, maybe because I'm at Google. But in terms of like the overall job search, maybe more like a 4 or 5. Like I wouldn't say it's like been super hard, but like getting up in the morning to talk to people early is a little bit exciting at times, and like doing some take-home tests can be a little exciting, and
Getting your IQ assessed.
yeah,
Having to talk to the HR recruiter at 2:30 in the morning.
Well, yeah, your experience has been worse. The IQ test for me was pretty bad. I really wish I had done it on a weekend.
But you're a genius.
But I'm 99 percentile genius, so that's good.
Do you have any goals for while you're abroad?
Definitely not. I don't do like the goals just come continually. They're not something I do ahead of time. Like I don't do like New Year stuff because I just like make them throughout the year. So I wouldn't bother doing it ahead of time. Yeah, definitely want to join a club. That's like a high priority for me.
Yeah. You can call that a goal.
Yeah, I could call it a goal, but yeah, I probably wouldn't, to be honest. I just hope after Denmark, I'm a better person than I was before.
Nice.
And, that's always sort of my goal for each little bit of time. What about you, though?
Maybe come home having more of an idea of like what type of next job would be good. Like let's say I really like the Danish workplace. Maybe I'll realize that like, oh, I actually like data science. I just want to find like a smaller company. Be more like extroverted and meet more people, because I feel like in the past when I've been abroad I've been able to be like a more exciting version of myself. Like yeah, I tend to think, oh, I'm naturally someone that someone would want to get to know, just because it's like I have the added interestingness of like being a foreigner, whereas in the US I tend to be way more shy. Not that I should like use situational stuff as my excuse for like getting better. Like if it's something I want to work on, I should just work on that. Learn some Danish. Like try not to just fall into speaking English all the time. maybe some relationship stuff with you.
What does that mean?
I don't know, just like come back feeling like we've like done a big thing together. I think I've talked to you about feeling like the idea that we can take something that was one of our dreams and execute on it is like an important thing to me, to feel like solid about things.
Yeah.
What are we gonna miss about the US?
There definitely are gonna be things.
I think feeling at home, like it can be tiring to feel like even simple tasks are harder just being a foreigner, like that gets tiring.
Yeah, I think my family is definitely a big
my
thing
family
that I'll miss.
I don't see my family as much, so I don't know if I'll miss them in the same way as like missing your nieces, but the time difference will be hard in terms of staying in touch with people.
This isn't what we'll miss though.
I don't know, saying that you're gonna miss like family.
Miss being in the same time zone.
What do you think is gonna be the hardest part of the like packing and moving process?
Getting rid of stuff for sure. What do you think?
It depends how rushed it's all gonna feel. Like I don't know if I'm gonna feel like, oh, I wanna go see all these people and get a break between jobs, but then also be having to do all this packing. Maybe saying goodbye to Carmondo if we do decide to sell the car. Yeah, kind of figuring out how not to save everything to the last minute. Like we don't want to be living with no furniture, but we also don't want to be trying to like get rid of our furniture on the day we move out. Things like that.
Yeah.
If we were still in Denmark in 3 years from now, how surprised would you be?
Decently surprised. Not like that seems impossible. Like it definitely seems theoretically possible, but it would surprise me a bit. I just feel like yeah, I don't know. I think after 2 years in Denmark, I think definitely I would be like, oh, I want to spend some chunk of time closer to my family. It wouldn't surprise me. It's not like we wouldn't, like it wouldn't be necessarily like, oh, we move permanently back to the US, but I do think that it's pretty likely that around the 3-year mark, I would be sort of feeling pretty like, oh, maybe I want to be more involved with like my family.
Yeah.
Or at least some.
I almost feel like that would happen sooner, where maybe we would go, then realize we want to like go back and be near California while the girls are still young.
But then go back later.
And then if we fell in love with like how Danish society does things, go back later. Or maybe we'll not be particularly attached to Denmark, but really like the feeling of having lived abroad and decide to live in a few different places later in life.
I think that definitely could be true. Yeah.
How much are you doing this trip for me, because it's been on my bucket list, versus like you being super excited about it at this point? Because in some ways I'd say you've been driving forward the actual like acting on it.
Yeah, but partly by accident, or like we got like questionable information about how the timing would go.
Yeah, but like starting to learn Danish,
sure.
And being like, we gotta pick a city, like, I don't know, you have a pre-action mindset once you decide to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like, or yeah, like I'm pretty committed to going to Europe, and so like that commitment is not based on you at all. That's just like me being like, all right, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
But the original, all right, I'm doing this, you were very related to that, or like you were like, I really want to go to Europe, and then I wouldn't say that I would like did it for you, but I did like decide that I also wanted to do it partly because you wanted to do it, you know. So it's not like you're irrelevant to it, but I think like, yeah, I just don't think about it in that way. I wouldn't think about it. Or yeah, I'm just committed to going to Europe with you at this point, and it has nothing, not because you wanted to go to Europe.
Nice. I think it'd be fun if we say something in Danish, and then if we make another one of these videos partway through, we can like compare our accents or something, or just say so we can say something more complicated. You wanna say something?
Hun spiser ikke kylling. My critical phrase for.
What does that mean? Tell the audience.
She doesn't eat chicken.
Nice. Jeg forstår lidt dansk. I understand a little bit of Danish. Okay, here's the money question.
Oh gosh, the money question.
Are we gonna come home with a European dog?
Oh, it doesn't seem that likely to me, but you've been a lot more interested than I've expected, and like I'm definitely somewhat interested in getting a dog. So if you like start making moves,
Yeah.
it definitely would happen. So
It's not an ideal time to like have a dog while we're there traveling, but it might ease coming back to the US if we're like, okay, we are saying goodbye to things that we liked, but like we get to take this part home with us. I think that's all my questions. Do you have any questions?
I feel like I should have a question. I guess do you still, so like, I know at one point you definitely would have said that I just like decided we were going to Copenhagen. Do you still feel that way?
No, I do wonder how much of my excitement about it, or I'm excited about Copenhagen, period, but in terms of my excitement for Denmark, I wonder how much of that is due to the visa, the fact that if one of us got a visa, the other person can come along, and it will feel a little bit like if we don't utilize that, like, oh, did we decide this mainly for that? I think also the winter in Seattle I don't love, so that's been sometimes makes me question, but no, overall, I don't know, I feel like I'm the type of person who always gets cold feet when I actually make progress towards a goal.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I mean, I've told you about like when I was looking at colleges, I would be excited about a college and then I'd visit and then I'd be like, I don't want to apply. So
That's not a bad thing though, necessarily. Or like that's not getting.
I like to like dive into something with as little knowledge as possible.
Wow.
So I think, and I know that's opposite of you. So I think like, yeah, Denmark, as we've made it more real, in some ways feels less exciting than other countries, purely just because the other countries it's like, oh, I still haven't actually, like it's still just a fantasy mode, whereas the Denmark stuff it's more like, oh, there's the reality of like, I'm learning more that maybe like the culture is a little bit more closed off and I'm getting nervous about how I'm gonna make friends, or I'm realizing like, oh, I'll probably like, the idea of having really good bike infrastructure sounds good, but now that I'm thinking about actually having to like commute in the rain every day, that feels hard. Like things like that, where it's just the reality of like when you start to live your real life, it's never gonna be as good as like a fairy tale life, but it's gonna be like good in other ways. Or it's real, so that's exciting.
Interesting.
I guess that doesn't really answer like your question about did you make the decision, but I think that maybe
Oh no,
answers
I don't
why.
care about did I make it. I care more about how you feel.
Anything else?
No.
Toodaloo! Or no, wait. Favel! Are we gonna YouTube
I don't know, you're gonna have to edit the video and find out. And the viewer's gonna have to find out too.